go over, get the other bits that we just clamped up, they should be dry, and we can cut the last, so we'll have all 8 pieces put together. But just with even what we've done, you can see how the chessboard is going to start to take shape. And now you can also see why we put an extra white on there, because we're going to be odd on both ends, so then we cut these off at some later stage. Put these to one side, I'll go and get the other ones. Same thing, I'm going to cut this up so we can get the other 2 strips that we need. And then we can start actually putting the board together. We'll just put this up here and we'll cut this again. This piece here, it's okay, we'll make sure that's a waste bit. Have it upside down again, which gives me a cleaner edge on the face side. And we'll cut 2 squares out, or 2 strips. Number 7 and number 8. And we might as well, if we can get one more, we'll take one more out of here, because you never know, you might need a spare. Lay them out. At this stage I'm going to set out, because I just don't want those last 2 that came off a separate one to be out of whack with everything else. So if, for example, the grain was really different, I would actually break it up in the board somehow. So I'll just put all these together and I'll just see how that looks. No, that looks pretty good, I think. So I might even put these up the top. Now I actually break these, so I'll glue them in 3 sections. I'll have 3 strips here, 2 strips here, 3 strips here. Now you have a choice to make, because on a chessboard the bottom right is white. So if, for example, I decided I was going to set the board up this way, like that, which looks like a good chessboard, the bottom of the board would actually be there, so we'd have to turn it around, and all the grain is going across the board. If you want the grain to be running up and down the board, then you move these to the other side. So this will then be the bottom right, and you do it this way. That way, that's the right corner, the bottom right, and all the timber's running up the board. So that's something you might have to think about and give some thought to how you actually want the grain of your board to go. I want to have it running up and down, so I'm going to put this together the way I've set it out here. So it'll do those 3, and those 2, and then when they're dry, I just join these 2 to these 2, and it's done. It's exactly the same process. When I first started doing this, I thought, not this particular one, I thought, how would you do a chessboard? How do you cut all the squares exact? Well, now you know. You don't actually cut the squares out, all you're doing is cutting strips. So we're going to have this as the bottom right, and we push there in there nice and tight, and just make sure you get all the edges nice and firm and the corners of each square lining up with the corner above it. That way it's going to be nice and true. And that's the reason you have to cut them all on the same, using the same jig and the same way, so then they'll end up being square with each other. Then these extra ones, when we finish, we trim those off. Make sure you're following the pattern, because you don't want to get out of whack with it, or else you can end up in all sorts of strife. So that's set up, and what I actually did, I used the spare one because this one's got a chip out here, which really is no biggie. We could fix it, but if you got a spare one, why not use it? Now I'm just going to run beads of glue up these joins, then we hold them in the clamps, take them out, and then just glue them together. Get the trusty boards out again. That one down there. Paper over the top of that. That one on top of there. Paper on top of that. And this one on top of there. And we'll put that over there, put some weights on it, and we'll give it half an hour and it should be right. All right, and we're back to it. These two are joined. These three are joined. And this one's joined. Use that paper again. Just lay them out. And then we join these two and these two together. It's very satisfying doing this sort of work because it's not hard, but it's a great sense of achievement when you've got the precision there that you're looking for. And there we have it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Bottom right is white. We'll glue these up. Then I'll leave it for 24 hours to make sure that it's nice and set, and we can lay it onto a fly backboard.